We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Yesterday we heard that for Kumaras, they got darshan of Supreme Lord when he came there at the gate of Vaikuntha. The Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure. His auspicious presence is meant for everyone's benediction, and his affectionate smiling and glancing touch the core of the heart. The Lord's beautiful bodily color is blackish, and his broad chest is the resting place of the goddess of fortune, who glorifies the entire spiritual world, the summit of all heavenly planets, means higher planets. Thus it appeared that the Lord was personally spreading the beauty and good fortune of the spiritual world. Pitamshuke pritu nitambini vispurantya kanchalibir virutaya vana malaya cha valgu prakoshta valayam vinata sutamse vinyasta hastam itarena dhunanam abjam. He was adorned with a girdle that shone brightly on the yellow cloth covering his large hips, and he wore a garland of fresh flowers, which was distinguished by humming bees. His lovely wrists were graced with bracelets, and he rested one of his hands on the shoulder of Garuda, his carrier, and twirled a lotus with another hand. Vidyut kshipan makara kundala mandanarha ganda stalonasa mukham manimat kiritam dor danda sanda vivare harata parardya harena kandara gatena cha kaustubhena. His countenance was distinguished by cheeks that enhanced the beauty of his alligator-shaped pendants, which outshone lightning. His nose was prominent, and his head was covered with a gem-studded crown. A charming necklace hung between his stout arms, and his neck was adorned with the gem known by the name Kaustubha. You will not find such descriptions in Upanishad. There only Brahma is mentioned, Brahman or Atma or Paramatma. But here very clearly it is described. But we should know this is not some kind of material form. It is eternal, transcendental form, unlimited, and it is revealed only to pure devotees. Atropasrishtam iti chotsmitam indirayah svanam dhiya virachitam bahu saushta vadyam mahyam bhavasya bhavatam cha bhajantam angam Nemur nirikshya na vitripta drisho muda kai. The exquisite beauty of Narayan, being many times magnified by the intelligence of his devotees, was so attractive that it defeated the pride of the goddess of fortune in being the most beautiful. My dear demigods, the Lord who thus manifested himself is worshipable by me, means Brahma speaking, by Lord Shiva, and by all of you. The sages regarded him with unsated eyes and joyously bowed their heads at his lotus feet. Shri Jiva Goswami gave the definition of Bhagavan as Bhajaniya Guna Vishishta. He is the one who has such qualities, such special qualities, that whoever comes in contact with him cannot but worship him. So such qualities he has. Here we see they bowed their heads at his lotus feet. Everyone will worship. And of course, Nandanandan Krishna, that love awakens for him. For Narayan, that worship, but for Nandanandan Krishna, love, intimate, that loving service. That is also worship and service, but it is loving type, not in fervent reverence. So you will not see Yashoda bowing down to Krishna, but she's serving him all the time in parental love. Tasyara vinda nayanasya padara vinda kinjalka mishra tulsi makaranda vayu antargatah swavivarena chakaratesham sankshobham akshara jusham api chita tanvo. This is a very famous verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, quoted many times. When the breeze carrying the aroma of tulsi leaves from the toes of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead entered the nostrils of those sages, for Kumaras, they experienced a change both in body and in mind, even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman understanding. They were in there also, we read in Navadip Dham Mahatmya of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they said to Nimbarkacharya, when he came there and he met them, for Kumaras, then they told him, before we were constantly meditating on impersonal Brahman, but by the grace of Supreme Lord, that sinful activity means we gave up that sinful activity. In comparison with the service of Krishna, which is natural function of every living entity, that meditating on impersonal Brahman, although that is also Krishna, and there are no material desires there, but in comparison, that is also as a sinful activity. It is not like sinful activity in this world. You eat meat, you drink alcohol, you kill someone like this. The sinful activity. But in comparison to Seva, that is also sinful activity. Because we are eternal servants of Krishna. There in Jaiva Dharma, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained that the goal of karma, kanda, is one can get to those higher planetary systems, heavenly planets, to get that long enjoyment like this. The goal of jnana is to merge yourself into impersonal Brahman. But there Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained that that cannot actually literally happen. To like merge yourself and completely lose your individuality. He said that is not possible because it is stated in Shastra, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Jovidadati Kamam. In Upanishad, he is one eternal among many eternals, and he is one chief conscious among many conscious. Means Supreme Lord is conscious being and eternal, and there are many jivas. Many means Bahu, he is one and many, but many here means unlimited jivas. They are eternal, they are conscious, and the one fulfills the desires of all others, or he maintains them all. So that is eternal reality. Krishna told to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, never there was a time when I did not exist and all these kings and you and all, because the individuality of Atma, individual Atma or Jiva, is eternal. It can never be destroyed. Sometimes we hear from Acharyas that merging yourself in impersonal Brahman means spiritual suicide. So then when we hear this, we interpret it in a way as with worldly experience. Like someone is living, then he commits suicide, then everything is finished. The body finished, everything finished, gone. So like that, when we hear spiritual suicide, then we become afraid, oh, then forever you are lost. You have no individual, but that is not literally true. Jiva, even when is merged in Brahma Jyoti, it only that is only a kind of realization that there is no other, there is no distinguishable qualities undifferentiated like this, only that mass of consciousness, and there is no difference. But in reality, the Jiva Swarup is there existing also, but as individual soul with certain relation with Krishna, that is also existing, but that person does not realize it. But does not mean that spiritual suicide then forever finished, you are gone. So we are very much afraid. No, that is not the case. Subjectively, they are feeling there is only one spirit, I am that spirit, and it is of undifferentiated character. They don't experience themselves as individual or anyone else as individual or Supreme Lord as no, only that mass of consciousness. But from that mass of consciousness, eventually they will fall down also again to this material world if they don't accept the service of Bhagavan, Supreme Lord. But those who get the grace of pure devotee, like here or Supreme Lord, the four Kumaras are example, and also that Shukadev Goswami, he was realized in Brahma Jyoti, merged there, means fully established in Brahma Jyoti, but by hearing Bhagavatam, one shloka, he got attracted to Krishna. Here, this is another example. They got attracted by getting the Tulsi fragrance offered to the lotus feet of Krishna, that Tulsi. So something of that character, of Swarup Shakti character, we must get that grace. Then our eternal Swarup will awaken. That Swarup can never be destroyed. It can be covered by material egos, or in Brahma Jyoti, it is not realized. There only one aspect, only eternity is there. Eternity and consciousness, but not that form and the bliss which comes out of that. But it is not spiritual suicide finish forever. No. Even Narad Goswami told to Vyasadeva, hinted, he asked him, oh Vyasadeva, why you are still unsatisfied? even though you already are Brahman realized, why you are still unsatisfied? Means he hinted at that point that the jiva cannot be fulfilled in Brahma Jyoti because of her swarup in relation to Krishna. Unless that is fulfilled, jiva cannot be fully happy. It may have, for the time being, that fulfillment, like Gopakumar also had different kinds of fulfillment when he was passing through different stages. He was happy, but after some time, again he felt something is missing. And again he went further like this. So like that, someone who realizes Brahman, that is unlimited bliss, not limited by any material time or space or anything, unlimited. But in comparison with Seva Ananda or Premananda, service of Supreme Lord, that is limited, spiritually limited. So someone may get that and he will be fully satisfied. There is no suffering there, mental or physical, nothing, and full bliss, eternal bliss. But there are no waves of bliss there because there is no lila, no activity, no movement. But from there, if one gets the grace of Sarup Shakti, means pure devotee, then he will enter into service of Krishna, and that will actually fulfill him. And as we sing Gopakumar, he was serving Narayan and he was happy. But because his internal self, Atma, was of Vrindavan type, he was also not satisfied there. Only when he reached Vrindavan and got the service of Krishna in his own eternal swarup as a cowherd boy, was he fully happy. So that verse also is there, Atma Ramascha Munaya, we were hearing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita that so many types of Atmaramas, those who are satisfied, they also get attracted to the lotus feet of Krishna because of his qualities. So there also he mentioned this example. So if merging into Brahman would mean spiritual suicide, gone, everything finished forever, then how they could be attracted to Narayan or Shukadeva Goswami attracted to Krishna? Because that is still existing. They are not experiencing it, but it is existing and no one can deny it, because if you deny it, you will fall down, and if you get the grace of Krishna, you will realize it and you will feel it is me, I, not something imposed on you. Sai Maharaj told, this Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition on the mind, means on the self. You are already eternally who you are, but that may get covered. It is not destroyed when you want to enjoy. But when it is uncovered, rediscovered, or you are reinstated, then you will feel it is I eternally. It's not something new or something came on me. No, you will like you awake from dream, or from sleeping you awake. You are who you are. You did not become someone else. You just become aware who you are and what is your activity, what you have to do. Everything is revealed. So here, even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahman understanding, they were attracted. That is higher. Te va amushya vadanasita padma kosham udvikshya, but I forgot, yes, for devotees, that process or that merging into Brahman is undesirable because there is no seva there. That is why they don't like, and they say that is not good. And it is like spiritual suicide, because you will have no material identity, Brahmin, Kshatriya, man, woman, all this, no that identity, and also no spiritual identity. You are Saka, Manjari, like this. So you are just undifferentiated consciousness. So for them, they say it is spiritual suicide because you kill yourself. You deny yourself. You are not in yourself, spirit, but not literally forever. You can never destroy Atma, Atma's individuality. Also, when Jiva is in marginal plane, that is also like Brahman plane. They are not active either in this material world. They have no this ego, nor they are active in spiritual world. They are not in their real ego, real identity. So they are undifferentiated. Then the movement comes, and then they what is their choice, what they desire, they will. So that from that plane already we came out. So it is not like forever that plane. Even though Mayavadis or Gyanis, they will deny eternal form of soul, they may deny it, and they may deny it also based on their experience of Brahmajyoti. Still, even if they deny, still the truth is that Swarup exists. And it is proved when they have to fall down because of the offense of not accepting Supreme Lord. And proof is when someone gets the grace of Swarup Shakti, that will be awakened. It will not be created. You will realize, oh, I am dead. I am eternally dead. Like you find in Navadip Bhava Taranga of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was in trance-like state, like Samadhi state, and then he wrote, suddenly I could see myself, who I am. I'm Kamala Manjari. I could see, and what is my duty and everything. Then Ananga Manjari came and took me by the hand and introduced me to Lalita and Rupa Manjari like this. And in another song also he wrote that when I will wander in Navadip Dham, and then by grace that eternal Swarup of Dham will be revealed. And at that time also I saw myself as Radha Dasi, maid servant of Radharani. When light of Krishna comes, then like a mirror, you also see yourself in relation to him, your individual self. That is never created. It is already existing. And it is not given to us. It is only revealed. You realize it. If it is said that it is given to us, or Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Siddha Deho Diya, Brindavana Maje, you give me my Siddha Deho, it means in this sense that by their grace I get it, I get that realization. So this we have to understand. Te va amushya vadanasita padma kosham udvikshya sundara taradhara kundhasam labda sheshah punar avekshya tadiyam angri dvandvam nakarunamani shrayanam nidadyu. The Lord's beautiful face appeared to them like the inside of a blue lotus. And the Lord's smile appeared to be a blossoming jasmine flower. After seeing the face of the Lord, the sages were fully satisfied. and when they wanted to see him further, they looked upon the nails of his lotus feet, which resembled rubies. Thus they viewed the Lord's transcendental body again and again, and so they finally achieved meditation on the Lord's personal feature. That Brahmajyoti is also Supreme Lord, but impersonal feature, one aspect, that light coming out of him. Now finally they achieved, although they were meditating there. But now finally they achieved. If they would be finished, gone, then how they can attain this? Achieved meditation on the Lord's personal feature. And then they also propagated this. They said to Nimbarka, we will teach you this meditation on Radha Krishna. And they gave him mantra, how he has to worship and how he will spread devotion to Krishna for Kumaras. Yes. Punksam gatim mrigayatam iha yoga margair dhyanas padam bahumatam nayana biramam paum snam vapur darshayanam ananya siddher ot patikeih samagrinan yutam ashta bhogay. This is the forum of the Lord, which is meditated upon by the followers of the yoga process, and it is pleasing to the yogis in meditation. It is not imaginary, but factual, as proved by great yogis. The Lord is full in 8 kinds of achievement, but for others these achievements are not possible in full perfection. Here I will try to find 8 features. Ashtasiddhi here means 8 kinds of yogic perfections are hardly achievable by the common man. But here it is described that the Lord who appeared before the 4 sages is himself full of all 8 of those perfections. Ashtasiddhi, Jogeshwara. Krishna is one name, is Jogeshwara. The highest yoga marga means the process or path of yoga process is to concentrate the mind 24 hours a day on Krishna. This is called Krishna consciousness. The yoga system as described in SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM and Bhagavad Gita, or as recommended in the Patanjali yoga process, is different from the nowadays practice Hatha yoga as it is generally understood in the Western countries. Real yoga practice is to control the senses, and after such control is established, to concentrate the mind on the Narayan form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or Godhead, Shri Krishna. Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, and all the other Vishnu forms with 4 hands decorated with conch, lotus, clap and wheel are plenary expansions of Krishna. So in this Kali Yuga, we have to realize this eternal form by offenseless chanting of Harinam. Tomorrow we will observe appearance day of Srila Gaur Govinda Sai Maharaj, one prominent disciple of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, he told, when you are chanting Mahamantra, if you don't see Krishna, means you are a blind person. It's true, we are covered by anarthas. That is why we are unable to see. But Krishna and Krishna's name and his form, they are all non-different in his qualities. One who chants without offenses, like Haridas Thakur, in purified heart, in that pure heart, you will realize this form. It is factual, not, and that is higher bliss. We also find in Jaiva Dharma that one Mayavadi was there, topmost Mayavadi. He fully accomplished all that process. But one day, by chance, that Vaishnava one came and he was chanting loudly Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda and Mahamantra. Then that Mayavadi felt in his heart some unprecedented bliss, never experienced before and higher. But he did not immediately approach him because he was in that ego. I am high sannyasi, I am topmost being, I am liberated, all this. But he could not help himself after some time. So he said, to hell with this, all this. I want to experience that. Then he was searching and finally he came to Navadip Dham and took shelter of Vaishnava, pure devotee. Kumara Uchuh Yon Tarhito Hridigato Pi Duratmanam Tvam Sodyeva no Nayana Mulam Anantaradha Yarhyeva Karna Vivarena Guham Gatonah Pitranu Varnitaraha Bhavat Udbhavena. The Kumara said, our dear Lord, you are not manifested to rascals. Even though you are seated within the heart of everyone. He is inside. Our real self also is inside, in relation to him. It's already existing. It is never created. But we are rascals, so we cannot see, cannot realize. Rascal means we are averse to him. We wanted to enjoy this Maya, so we are rascal, doing sinful act. We are his eternal servant and not doing that. We want to separately enjoy. It's a rascaldom. So we are punished by Maya to get all this suffering. But immediately when we will turn to Krishna, we can be rescued. Immediately means when you unconditionally surrender to Krishna, immediately you will be free. But we are unable. So we have to associate with sadhus, and by that inspiration we have to practice devotion to Krishna and come to that point of unconditional surrender. But as far as we are concerned, we see you face to face. Although you are unlimited, the statements we have heard about you from our father Brahma through the years have now been actually realized by your kind appearance. Tam tvam vidama bhagavan param atmatattvam satvena sampratiratim rachayantam esham yate nutapa viditeir drida bhakti yogair udgranthayo hridi vidur munayo viragah. We know that you are the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, who manifests his transcendental form in the uncontaminated mode of pure goodness, Vishuddha Sattva. This transcendental, eternal form of your personality can be understood only by your mercy. Though through unflinching devotional service by great sages whose hearts have been purified in the devotional way. Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grajyamindre sevan mukhe hi jivadau swayam eva spuratyada. Krishna's transcendental name, form, attributes, pastimes cannot be realized by material senses, gross and subtle, means by our own effort, by ego. But if one becomes inclined to serve Krishna by the grace of pure devotees are grace incarnate form of Krishna. So under their guidance, when we serve Krishna, then by his own mercy, by his own will, he will be revealed to such surrendered soul who is purified in devotional way. So it exists, but if we are not realizing, then means we are not accepting that process wholeheartedly, and also it takes time to fully purify ourselves. We have to hear from Bhagavatam, and we have to hear from realized souls about Krishna, then that will give us that faith and inspiration to worship him. When worshipping, then we can also get that darshan. Natyantikam viganayanti apite prasadam kim vanyat arpita bhayam bruva unayaiste yengatvat angri sharana bhavatah kataya kirtanya tirta yashasa kushala rasagya. Persons who are very expert and most intelligent in understanding things, as they are engaged in hearing narrations of the auspicious activities and pastimes of the Lord, which are worth chanting and worth hearing. No, sorry, I hear one D I said too much. Again, I'm reading. Persons who are very expert and most intelligent in understanding things as they are, engage in hearing narrations of the auspicious activities and pastimes of the Lord, which are worth chanting and worth hearing. Such persons do not care even for the highest material benediction, namely liberation. Material benediction here means selfish benediction, because liberation is also selfish. For your own sake, you want to have peace, liberation. You are not inclined to serve Krishna, so this is selfish. To say nothing of other less important benedictions like the material happiness of the heavenly kingdom. So, although liberation is not material benediction, is not matter something, but here material means in the sense of selfish liberation. So even liberation they don't want. The liberation is very blissful. Dhruva also told that they are getting that bliss of Brahman, but it is not the same as those of devotees. What to speak, same thing, what to speak of happiness in heavenly kingdom. You will find in Taittiriya Upanishad, in Vienna also, now Buddha and Maharaj were taking prasad. We were discussing that one healthy man in this world, and without any diseases also, and very rich and all this, he's getting certain amount of happiness. But 100 times more than this is that Pitris they're getting. And 100 times more than that, the karma devas get. And then 100 times higher than that, Indra, and then Gandharva, and like this it goes. Then it comes to, and then at the end it said, but Brahman is unlimited. Bliss of Brahman is unlimited. And unlimited bliss of Brahman, not limited by material time and space, is these devotees, they don't care about that. I heard from Buddha directly from his lotus mind. It is like nothing. That Brahmananda is like nothing in comparison with the service of Krishna. But we find there in Upadeshamrita, Krishna says, karmis are more there, are there to me. Karmis means karma kandis. They at least accept Vedic regulation. They want non-eternal things, but accept Vedic. So some surrender is there in comparison with those who just want sense enjoyment, unrestricted work and enjoy. Or not even work, you steal, borrow, or anything, just you enjoy. But karmis, they are regulated by Vedic scriptures. They are rare in this world, real karmi. And more there than such karmis are the gyanis, because they don't want anything material. But more there than gyanis are those who gave up gyan and accepted devotion, and the example is this, 4 Kumaras. And then further development of devotion is there. The Premi Bhaktas like Narad, and then further, and ultimately it comes to Gopis, and among Gopis, Radharani is the highest. If one takes shelter of Radharani, serves, then highest type of service he can do to Krishna, and he can get highest type of bliss. So they are not interested in anything. Kamam bhavasva vrijiner nirayeshu nachstach cheto livat yadi nu te padaya rameta vachas chanas tulasivat yadi tengri shobha puryeta te guna ganair yadi karna randra. I had in mind before, but I forgot to say. Then, like nowadays, you have these regression therapies. People want to know, or regression, people want to know who they were in previous life. So they get some realization, I was king, I was this, I was that. But the point is, in previous life, you were the same Atma as you are now. You were never any other person. That is only your dress. You are king or something. You are the same person. They think I was that person in that life, and that I was that person, but it is not correct. You are the same person, but because you are not realizing now who you are, you think you are this body and mind, so you think you are that person before. But those who know who really they are, that Atma, in relation to Krishna, they know in previous life I was same person, not any other person. Only covering was different, and according to karma it is going on. So if one can realize who he is eternally, then automatically he knows who he always was and what are the different coverings only, dresses, but that is not you. We misidentify with that. O Lord, we pray that you let us be born in any hellish condition of life, just as long as our hearts and minds are always engaged in the service of your lotus feet. Our words are made beautiful by speaking of your activities, just as tulasi leaves are beautified when offered unto your lotus feet, and as long as our ears are always filled with the chanting of your transcendental qualities. So you see here, they understood this point. Who really they are and what is actually necessity. It is the service of Krishna. They say we may be born, that is no problem, in hell or wherever. That is no problem. But only let us have devotion to you, let us chant your name and think of you. Our words may become beautiful by speaking about you. Tulsi, how she got that name? Because no one is equal to her beauty. Tulsi. Tulya, no one is comparable. Atula means incomparable. Tula means that comparable. So nothing can compare with beauty of Tulsi. But here it is written that Tulsi becomes beautified by being offered to the lotus feet of Narayan. Such is Supreme God. So our words may be beautified by speaking about you. They become beautiful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also told, you will find all Shastras. All Shastras point you will find in 8 verses of Shikastaka of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You will find in Bhajan Rahasya book of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he shows this. He's giving scriptural evidences from different scriptures to prove the point which Mahaprabhu is giving in Shikastaka. So like we are reciting Bhagavad Gita or reciting Bhagavatam like this. So that is transcendental sound, but Shikastaka also is transcendental sound, coming out from the lotus lips of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why Gauriya devotees, they will daily recite Shikastaka. Even if you have no time to hear any Harikatha or read any scripture, just you repeat Shikastaka, everything is there inside. This point is also there. Nadhanam najanam, I don't want anything. I may be born, that is no problem. I don't mind, but let me have devotion to you. Because we are not realized soul now, we are conditioned by this. So if we are diseased or disturbed like this, then it is a kind of obstacle for our remembrance of Krishna. So taking treatment, keeping body fit, keeping mind fit, that is allowed for the sake of service of Krishna, because we are not liberated souls, so that steals away our attention if we are too much disturbed and sick like this. So it is also there in practice that you have to keep your body fit, also mind fit. So such kind of therapies, also regression, all these therapies are useful to keep you healthy, and you can give your mind to Krishna uninterruptedly. That is also helpful, but ultimately that is according to our karma. It is happening, it will never finish until we are liberated. So just we have to tolerate, and we can take treatment and tolerate, and always engage in the service of Krishna. And those who are realized souls, they can fully tolerate without any disturbance. That is why they say, I don't mind being born, only I want your service. Pradushchakartha yat idam puruhutarupam tenesha nirvritim avapur alam drishona tasma idam bhagavate nama it vidhema yonatmanam durudayo bhagavan pratita. Last verse here. O Lord, we therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto your eternal form as the personality of Godhead, which you have so kindly manifested before us. Your supreme eternal form cannot be seen by unfortunate, less intelligent persons, but we are so much satisfied in our mind and vision to see it. Like Dhruva, he was disturbed because of being criticized and rejected by his stepmother and also father. He was disturbed. So in that disturbed mind, you cannot think of Krishna. You will always think about that with anger, with hostile mentality to those persons whom you think they are causing your suffering. But that is not true. So if someone can do like Dhruva, to fully accept that we are getting the fruits of our own actions, no one is to be blamed, and you release all hostile mentality to anyone, accepting the mercy of Krishna. Everything is we are getting is the mercy of Krishna. He's giving result. So if one can see this, really accept like Dhruva, then immediately he's totally free of all disturbance. No need of therapies, anything. Immediately you get the fruit of full therapy. But we are unable to do this. That is the problem. We blame, so we are disturbed, and all these diseases, all this is there. But if someone can release that, Gurudev told, then you are free. Then you are free. And when you are free or undisturbed, then you can, from the core of your heart, you can call Supreme Lord with concentration. Or in that verse of Brahma, by body, mind, and speech, you can offer yourself for the service of Krishna. But as long as you blame and don't see the grace of Krishna and all this, then that will steal away, take away our consciousness. So we may heal those things to get some peacefulness, but to engage in bhajan. Otherwise there is no use. It has got no end. So like Dhruva was fully satisfied after seeing Supreme Lord, here also 4 Kumaras, they were merged in Brahman, fully absorbed in Brahman, but now they are fully happy, much satisfied. It means this is not a material form, otherwise they would not be attracted. This spiritual form, more beautiful than Brahma Jyoti. So tomorrow I have some engagement in the evening So tomorrow is also appearance day of Srila Gaur Govinda Sai Maharaj. So I should not miss this opportunity to hear his glories and speak. So we'll have tomorrow, it is also Saturday, from 10:30 onwards. Maybe it will be a little shorter, I don't know, from 10:30, and then there is no Harikatha at 8 p.m. And on Sunday also in Zagreb, Croatia, one prominent devotee from there recently left body, so there is Viraha Mahotsav, means festival in separation. So I was invited. I knew her very well. So I will go there, but I don't know when I will return, whether I can be back till 8. I think it is possible, but maybe some late, I don't know, because that is during day program, so let us see. I can inform also on Skype. So tomorrow 10:30 a.m. Slovenian time.